And we're back. Hello, welcome to
Hello.
November Foxtrot. We took a little week off last week, but we are back for another exciting episode of the show.
Very exciting.
Marky Mark, hello. Calls on Chewbacca. Landnav Challenge, yo yo yo.
Chewy's
Marky
in.
Mark, hello. Harry Badger, Eating Folders. Harry, you're doing some very interesting things with your 3D printer, my friend. I've been following your social media intensely over the last few weeks, and I can't wait to see the final result.
It's very exciting, isn't it?
Hello, Fresh Meat, Daz. Punish One, hello. Hello, Lance.
Hello.
Hi, Les, Matthew McCarthy, Rage. Ooh, it's all just skipped. James C, James McNary, Blackbeard. I don't think we've seen Blackbeard before. Hello. Welcome.
Hi, guys. Glad you're back. Oh, good. He sounds like a normal person and not a bot from the interface web land.
So we've had a little head scratch after our incident the last episode, and we will try to be avoiding any disruption from bots going forwards, because it's the first time it happened to us. We were learning a little bit in terms of how to deal with it, and we handled it in the most NoFo way possible, which is we just really focused on that for 10 minutes. So we're going to stop doing that for next week or next time.
We are not going to panic.
What's up? Rich Serent Sport, yeah. Pegasus, Terry G, hello. James C, those bots were hilarious. They were funny, but you know, we don't want to.
Do you remember that one that jumped in the stream? It must have been a couple of years back now.
They solved cancer or something, wasn't it?
They claimed to have found the cure for cancer, and they thought the best place to announce that massive bit of news was our stream.
Yeah. Well, we are.
That's when I thought that's a lie. That's
at the forefront of news. It's you know, if it's happening around the world, it happens on this show.
I've got some huge window just opened on my.
Hello.
Absolutely.
Daddy Plane.
There you go. You sound good now. You don't sound like Megatron anymore.
Yeah. I had to restart because you went all quiet.
Blackbeard's a regular listener. I've just had a bit of a rebrand. Same on Instagram too. Ooh. Cool. Rage says I'm a bot.
Quiz. Who was he before?
I don't know.
Sausages. Lovely.
Sausages. Rich Saren Sport, buy my crypto course.
I'm on it. Send me a link.
Right. We've obviously had 2 weeks to gain new purchases, new news, and new exciting things. Should we roll into the news and we can get into that? Because I know Andy's got a fuckload of stuff that he's been stacking up. Because he also hasn't got his mic on. So when he works that one out. There we go. There you go. Now you're just very quiet.
Why am I quiet? That's your problem. I haven't done anything with that.
There he is.
Cool. Right, let's roll into the news.
Yay.
I take my gun and I go pew, 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 pew.
News.
So, in the news this week, I'll tell you what, you guys start first because I need to find the specific image because there's a few images that it's to do with iPro. It happened at the Empire event, but we'll do it at the end of the news because we're going to be rolling onto the Empire event anyway. So it'll be a good segue.
I don't know an iPro happened at the Empire event.
No, it's not a problem. But
I do, and I wasn't even there. Yeah.
We'll chat about it at the end. So, Andy, what purchases have you got? Or any news that you might have?
For one, I am feeling better. I have purchased a brand new webcam. As you can see, I am full box mode now. Ta-da!
It's very exciting.
It is. I also bought some hands-free mic walkie-round things that I can't seem to get to work. So if anyone has any dealings with the fully arm.
Oh, I remember that story now. Sorry. Yep. Sorry, I just had a load of pictures flash up on my other screen.
What pictures?
Some things aren't for the internet, my friend.
I bought some more pouches for my Bergen, the front pouches, the water bottle pouches. So I can
love pouches.
To Mission Taylors because I'm going to get him to put the pack section, on my Recon, my Commander's one. I've got those netted section in the top section. I'm going to get him to put some of those in as well. My Arcturus trousers broke. The elastic straps on the knees. The one where you can adjust the leg height. The elastic snapped on them because it looked like they'd been sewn through. Rang them up, and they went, "Yep, not a problem. Send them back." Literally swapped them over and put a new pair. Sent a new pair off, literally almost straight away. So, very impressed with that.
Cool.
Missed that bit. Sorry.
That's all right.
His trousers broke. They've got fixed.
Oh yes, did you get them replaced?
I did. They sent a brand spanking new pair, and as a sorry, they sent me a black
Potpourri.
face mask.
Ooh.
Well, like a surgical mask, or like a protective one.
One of the COVID masks.
Nice. They've probably got a huge backlog of them in the staff room drawer.
Everybody's
give him?
getting masks.
Yeah. So I was like,
You get a
brilliant.
mask. You get a mask.
Safety
you get a
first,
mask.
kids. Safety
I'll take
first.
one of them.
It's like that.
And I've also
It was
booked on
Oprah that did that,
to.
wasn't it?
Was it Oprah?
I think Oprah did a show where she just gave away loads of cars. She was like, "You get a car. You get a car." Sorry,
Not
anyway,
masks, though.
sidetrack.
That's all right. Yeah. And what was the other thing I was about to say?
Dazzle us.
I think that was
Andy,
it.
Come on, dazzle us.
Oh, I had my hair cut, but I can't show you because you'll just get blinded by the baldness.
So I would say it's your hair cut, then you've just had hair removed.
I've had a lot of hair removed. Down all sorts of places as well.
Ooh. Yes.
Lance, you got any news or purchases?
Yes,
I
I have.
talk about my balls.
I wouldn't say purchases. If you take your hat off and scrunch your head up, does it actually look like the same as a ball bag? Look down at the camera. Look down at the camera and do it really close. Just squeeze the top of your head together. No, yours is as wrinkly as Dale's. Dale's one actually looks like a scrotum when he does that, which is brilliant. Not so much purchases, but I was given
Big
gifts.
shout out to our mate Dale this week.
Dale, scrotum head. Love him. So I was given gifts this week. So first gift, I got given 2 of these Pelly cases by my friend.
Oh, nice.
They do have some terminal ports on the side, but obviously nothing on the inside. So I'm going to use one of these for all my comms to go in, because it's a nice... Or into a makeshift stereo. Yeah. So I've got 2 of them.
Put grenades in it. It could be your boombox.
Pyro box. Oh, God. Can we mute him? Oh, I can mute him.
I got a bigger one. I got his dad. I got 2 of these.
Oh.
So I've got 2 of them as well, which were given to me by a lovely man called Mark.
Oh,
So I'd like to say publicly thank you, Mark, for those lovely
Well done, Mark.
things. Really appreciate it, mate. So yeah, that's going to go into I'm going to put lots of sort of trinkets and treasures in there. I can imagine see it now. So yeah, that's my 2 bit. And my MWS is done, apart from the quadrant reflex sight, which I keep harking on about, and I'm never going to find it. But there it is.
I was thinking, did you receive my message about maybe having a look and see if there's an STL file for it? If you've got,
Don't worry.
You can find an STL.
I'll do my own fanfare, guys. It's fine.
Oh, sorry, bud.
That's
I
right.
was too busy showing the photos.
No, it's not finished.
Actually, to be right, Andy's right. Actually, you should subtract that fanfare. So yeah, that's
Have you
it
thought
in all
about
its.
STL files?
What?
See if someone does a 3D printed STL file.
I have no idea. I don't have a 3D printer or 3D print. I wouldn't
No.
know what to look for.
But I do.
But I know
So
people
does
that do.
Harry Badger.
Andy, Harry. Yeah, but Harry's got a lot on his
Have a look.
plate at the moment, like building an entire
Oh.
alien galaxy and
Have you seen this?
their enemies.
Have you seen the blood? The blood looks
Yeah, it's cool. It does look
It
really
looks
cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
I've actually started
probably-
watching
I can't
Predator
go
2
to
now.
event that.
I saw the blood videos. Like, yeah, I'm going to start watching Predator 2 tonight because I've seen Predator 1 last week. So I'm going to revisit Aliens again. But yeah, NWS is finished, so I'm well happy with that. I just need to do a little bit of fine tuning with Kenny. We're going to free up some time when this rainstorm has passed, which is currently absolutely smashing the area I live into pieces at the moment. So apologies if you can hear rain through the mic. I do apologise.
No, it's all right.
It's out of my hands. Speak to
Mine's
Big JC.
still sitting there waiting to get finished, hovering above me like a halo.
MWS. So yeah, that's pretty much my news and purchases.
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 I I have a few things that I've got.
Or
I'll start
string.
off with-
Ooh.
No,
Hang on.
no string.
What
this
have we
week.
got?
And
Random. What random thing that could you have bought?
This is my new Keeler hat. So this is the Keeler SF MTC Polar Mountain Cap. It is both waterproof and thermal. That doesn't mean you can stick it in the fire.
Or wear it underwater.
Or wear underwater. You could wear underwater. It's got a little wire brim on the hood as well. I'll be honest with you, it's not the most fashionable hat I found. It's not going to start.
I think you need to wear it at more of a jaunty angle.
more of a jaunty angle, what, like that.
No, not like that, but like sort of turn the peak slightly off to the off kilter.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Yeah, do it like that.
But what I will say is I have I've been testing it out over the weekend. It got quite cold on Saturday night at Empire Rising 2 with Empire Events in the evening, and it was very nice and warm. Basically,
You look like so warm was it, in fact, that you actually fell asleep by the fire.
I did fall asleep by the fire. It was very comfy.
I thought it was my
You can wear
highbrow
it as a bit of a baseball
conversation.
cap. You can fold up the ear flaps. I appreciate. I mean, Rage has just said you look like a tactical Elmer Fudd. This is not going to win me a fashion competition. Hats don't necessarily keep me warm, but for the practicality of what this offers, this is a waterproof thermal hat.
Yeah.
I
think Rage is jealous.
A waterproof thermal hat.
I have a sealskin beanie. So obviously sealskins make the socks. I have the beanie version of those as well. And that was a good hat, but the outer, because it's still a beanie, whilst it's got a waterproof lining in it, the outer obviously absorbs the moisture and it started to drip down the bottom and then run down my neck. The benefit with this one is it's actually got the waterproof outer, so you can have that over your collar. So you can actually sort of tuck yourself inside it a little bit more. So yeah, that's my new little Keeler hat.
Nice.
I have, as of yesterday, purchased some Corinthia tent booties.
Oh, I've got
So,
some. They are very, very
These are
warm.
these are very warm. These are my windbreaker booties. I got these from Semaphore down in Maidstone. Quite a reasonable price. I definitely didn't pay the €160 that I've just found them on the Corinthia website. So yeah, second hand, grade 1. I'd probably say even super grade because there's almost, I can't tell.
I can tell you why they're
damage to
super
it.
grade is because they were issued to the lads when my brother-in-law was in, and they were out on exercise, and they refused to put their boots back on because they were so comfortable and warm that they were like standing to and getting into contacts with them. So they're like DS staff, if you like, were just like, right, bollocks, and just confiscated the fucking lot and made them wear their boots again. So that's why there's loads of them available that haven't been used because they just took the piss and wore them all the time. So it's like, right, bollocks, you're not having them.
So I mean, I've only given these a proper little bit of test around the house at the moment. They aren't
Well,
obviously
that's good
designed
enough.
for outdoor wear. I know they aren't designed for outdoor wear. They sort of specifically say that on the website. They do have like a slightly more reinforced canvas pad on the bottom. I'm only really planning to wear them when I'm sort of tucked up or whatever, or just a bit cold. I mean, there's been some events like when we did the Legion one in the SF base. So I'd be quite comfortable kind of wandering around the little hut, getting out your boots, getting these on because obviously it'd dry off your feet.
Defo,
keep
mate.
warm.
And
So
they
that's the
crunch
plan
down small as well, don't they?
They do. They are,
Oh, look, it's so strong.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at a big strong boy.
So on the same thread as keeping warm, I also, whilst in Semaphore, purchased these. These are the
oven gloves.
outer glove of the SAS
Oven gloves.
thermal gauntlet system. So this is a size small. They are incredibly large because they're obviously designed as. I think there's a 3-piece system this goes with. I know they look like oven gloves. I did think
No,
that.
they don't look like oven gloves, Mike. They're fucking oven gloves.
They are not oven gloves. So it's part of a 3-piece system to
But
keep
you've
your
only
hands
bought the
cold. Warm. They're designed to be. No, I've got two. And you could tie them together, I guess, to make them look like oven gloves.
Can you put some of your string through them so they go through your coat like mittens and then run around with them flapping about?
I can.
Please do
I'll
that.
do that later.
Please do that.
They have 3 kind of protrusions that you can put your fingers in. So
Ugh.
those 3 fingers go into kind of the main mitten area. You've got a 4-finger little pouch that you can actually remove the leather cover on.
For your trigger.
Leather. Is that the main mixing
Trigger
finger to come out?
So it velcros back. That's that's the party finger right there, and then you've obviously got the thumb hole as well. So yeah, basically I'm gearing up for these
He's
winter
gonna walk
events.
up. Lots. Lots.
No, you'll hear this little. Oh, he's got his main mixing finger out again.
His main mixing finger.
So
Jokes aside,
I
though,
mean-
are they strong? So if they're leather, you could use them as oven mittens, couldn't you?
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting you start waving around them in the fire to get coals and stuff out of it.
It's only because Ed was
in
asking.
terms
That was all.
Yeah, no. In terms of dealing with, like, if say you've got a hot mess tin or something like that, I wouldn't have any qualms using these to get or hold that while I'm eating or something like that. Or you know, the heat up meals, like the pouches of food and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where they get a bit
Yeah.
warm. Hold that in one of these quite happily. I bought
Changing
these
out the barrel of a
primarily,
GPMG when you put about 1 million fucking rounds through it. It's red hot. Ooh,
you know, just cooking at home on a Sunday if you've got a roast.
Yeah.
I bought these primarily for when we do sort of stag, anything like that, where it sort of involves a lot of sitting around in the cold. Just something I can throw on over the rest of my system.
Question, Dad. Also, you could actually eat out of the glove because it's quite a big surface area. You could just pour your food into it and just eat it.
Especially if you got
Yes,
both.
well, I could. However, I had a birthday present to deal with that. This
Which
is
is
a
an- oh.
super fold bowl. So this is from Fossils. It's a snap fold bowl, and basically,
What the
you can see it's sort of like a perforated, and it forms one of these. So this is a proper waterproof bowl. The way that it folds up means that that's the bottom corner, so there's no water that can get out of it. It holds 500 milliliters. It's actually got a gauge on the side, so you can use that as a measuring jug for all intents and purposes as well. So yeah, I saw these on a I'm ignoring you. I saw these on a super lightweight camping website and video. There was a company that was sort of going through various products and things that
That's
were out on the
bloody
market to
clever.
reduce the white.
I like that.
You can use it as a chopping board as well, so it's you can fold it out and
Oh,
use
so
it
it's
as a
cut-
Frisbee.
frisbee. What
Andy,
I
come on,
thought
think of
was
other
quite-
things we could use.
What I thought was quite clever is that you could use it. There's that sort of bowl. So say you're eating chips or something like that today.
Yeah. A cup for protecting your manhood.
A face mask. I
Face
don't know.
mask.
There's a
Face
variety
mask.
of
Hat.
these.
A little hat.
A little hats, yes.
A
Lovely. Look at that. A jaunty angle as well. Love that.
little bit more stylish than the other one, but
Oh, that's a bit Derek
Yeah,
Trotter,
so
isn't it? With
basically-
its front cap. Yeah.
Derek
Nice.
Trotter.
but yeah, they don't weigh a lot. They're quite lightweight. Obviously, they fold down completely flat.
Is it strong enough to be a spade?
No, it's not strong enough to be a spade. I mean, very loose, sandy soil you could probably scrape away with.
Okay.
But yeah, they're flat and flexible, apparently.
I've got a challenge for you, Mike, quickly. On air, live challenge. Can you put that bowl together with your oven gloves on?
Oh.
Yes, I probably can. Okay, you have to give me
Okay.
a second, though.
Hang on,
He's
let me
gotta
get
get
stopwatch
himself
on.
ready.
How long should we give
We're
him?
not gonna
30
do it,
seconds?
whilst talking, are we? This is going to be excellent
Yeah.
audio.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So for all those listening back, Mike's about to try and build a flat sheet of plastic into a bowl thing.
Okay,
Right,
ready?
hang on, Mike.
I've
So
got
you
that finger. I've got that finger out. Am I allowed that? Is that okay?
Oh, we'll allow you to have a single digit
Single-
exposed.
Okay, ready?
Hang on. Right, so you got 30 seconds, yeah?
Yeah, completely flat. Okay, here we go.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Done.
Oh my god, you've been practicing that all day.
I haven't been practicing.
Of course you bloody have.
So yeah,
6.99 seconds. That's the new record.
nice little ball.
There we go.
Thanks, Andy.
Congratulations, Mike. Wow.
It does
All the
loop.
fanfares for you. I've got a £1,200
not
MWS.
playing
I had to
for-
fucking hum my own one.
It's not playing through mine, so I didn't know that it played.
Oh right.
We're
okay.
trying to talk. It's going.
And I know that the gauntlets are mittens. I get that they are called blizzard mittens. They're the outer for the blizzard mittens, but it's just something that you can just slip on over. I can put them over my mechanic's gloves, so I haven't got to take the rest of the gloves.
Yeah,
off
like you say,
and
if you're on
that.
stag and you're still for ages, then and you've
Yeah.
got a wind chill as well. Consider make absolutely.
Yeah.
Still
So
take the piss,
those
but
are
they're
my
great gloves.
purchases. You can take the piss. I'll be sitting there nice and warm.
Nice and
While
warm.
you're taking
And
the
I'll be
piss,
sharing
that's
your warmth with you.
Yeah, we'll all be in there with you.
Mike,
Oh,
can I wear
baby.
your gloves for a bit?
Mike, can I hold your index finger because that's warm?
Mike the radiator.
James
Yes.
asked how thermal
Come
is the
to me.
Keeler hat. I don't know off the top of my head. I will find out for you in terms of how insulated it is. I will find out. So in the
Marky
news,
Mark, in the words of
in some
Newcastle,
actual
Puma
news,
Scooper.
So
Yes.
these were the glasses. These are
Oh.
revision. I can't remember the name of the brand. Not the brand, the make. These
know
are your
Pegasus
standard
is
revision
on.
eye pro that you get from British Army Surplus. So the BB has entered around the side of the where the glasses wrap round. It's entered from the right.
Yeah.
It's then run around the front edge. This is on the inside of the glasses. This isn't on the outside. It's around the front edge. It's then impacted on the nose bridge, and you can just about see the white marks as well as it's exited the glasses on the upper bridge, whatever that's called, like the forehead bridge. So these are obviously ballistic rated glasses. They do have a wraparound feature on these as well.
Yeah, because they do wrap round quite far.
They do. Yeah. I've never encountered that before, and I use revision sawflies. Yeah,
So I've added some.
but they don't look
arrows
like
here.
revision sawflies.
No, they're not. They're the reactive ones, aren't they? They're the ones that
Okay.
polarized.
Arrows. The BB's coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the BB's coming. So these are EZ 7 to 87 plus rated. So these are ballistic glasses. Come in, impacted on the nose bridge. You can just see as it's exited on there.
Hit there and then
and it's
drop
just
down.
basically a bit of a warning because ultimately, whatever eye pro you're running,
But he had to have been shot from behind. Then the round had to have come in that way. There's no way he'd have been.
it's coming from almost.
Don't run away.
It's like
Then you won't get shot like that.
it's coming on
Basically,
almost
that's
like
what
the
I say.
4 o'clock position,
Uh-huh.
round the eye pro, and I think it's just something to be aware of. In that ultimately, he was particularly. I mean, this was Pegasus. He said, most of the white BB mark has buffed out now. But when it first happened, he thought they'd cracked because of just this linear line running across the eye pro.
To be fair, that is like a 1 in probably a million shot of a BB coming in from that sort of angle. Because looking at that line, that's literally underneath the arm, which is probably the only gap. Because they sit down quite low.
I mean,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
that is-
and
that is
that
coming
corner
through.
of that lens is almost on your cheek, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost touching flesh, isn't it? Touching.
So
flesh.
apologies, these aren't revision. These are Edge tactical arc lights, and apparently they weren't flushed to his face either due to the heat at the time. So be careful with your eye pro. That's what I'm saying, because ultimately, Pegasus is a very regular player. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, very seasoned.
We're
good
not
steak.
talking novice here, and it doesn't take a lot.
Like a
It
good
doesn't take a lot for something
steak.
to potentially go wrong. I mean, that could have been, realistically speaking, let's be honest, that could have been Ash losing his eye this weekend.
Yeah.
It could have been. Like, if that had gone differently, there's whatever, that BB could have ended up in his eye. So I think it's just be careful with your eye pro.
Yep.
I know Rage always teaches us not to suck eggs for basic players and stuff like that. There's an element of Darwin theory, but Ash is not one of these people that needs to be told to breathe when he turns up to an event.
Les says,
We
would
all
that
do
indicate the
occasionally.
sniper was going for a headshot? No, not at all. I wouldn't have thought. If you imagine if that sniper was perhaps 80 meters away and was trying to do a drop shot or something like that, there's only so accurate. You can only be so accurate at the end of the day. I wouldn't class that as someone's a headshot. He could have tried shooting and leading the target, and Ash has actually walked onto his round, and then it's hit him that way.
Oh,
so
there could have been 100 things. Like, even
huge variance, mate.
especially
Variations
down
of
at
what
that
could happen.
Woodland, you could have been walking along and it could have just been his head that's on show.
Head on show,
you're
ricochet off something else. It could have clipped a twig and then changed trajectory. Nobody knows.
Absolutely.
Nobody knows.
No.
Yeah.
So
there.
well, that's it.
Yeah, he agrees. Sniper was in the ditch.
Ditch at
at
the bottom of the hill.
hill.
Hut, that's- okay, mate. Right. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah. So that's a fair old shot. That's a good 50, 60 meters away.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Well, there we are.
So, yeah.
Well, glad he's
Important
okay.
safety tip. Thank you, Mike. I'm glad it's okay.
Yes.
I know, I won't lie. I think there was a moment where he was a little bit like panicked because,
Oh, that would.
for something to crack your eye pro to start with, especially if they're ballistic ratings, that's obviously going to be a bit fearful. You obviously don't want your eye pro to fail mid game. I've been to a number of events where that's, eye pro's fallen off or something like that, and you do get quite panicked because obviously you need help to deal with that. So yeah,
Mm.
bit scary. Anyway,
Lessons learned.
is that the end of the news?
I'd
Needs to
say
get-
that was the end of the
Needs to get
news.
some food in him, like me, get fat cheeks. Don't have that problem then.
Get all fat and sassy.
Yeah.
We'll all pitch in and get in one of those full mesh face masks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy.
Pew, 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 pew.
So we're obviously going to be talking about the Empire events, Empire Rising
Yes,
2,
please.
that we attended last week. Now, unfortunately, Andy was unable to make the event due to his aforementioned shenanigans whilst driving.
Shenanigans, yeah.
Yeah. Tomfoolery and horsing around in a vehicle.
So,
Right, they've let me off now.
Lance, as I would say, probably co-event organizer with Kenny, do you want to set the scene as to what Empire Rising 2 is and was?
I can indeed. So it is a sniper-based tournament event, 1 day, not running through the night or anything. Points-based system. Each sniper team, each sniper individual is given 10 dog tags at the beginning of the event with their names on it or their team number on it, and they're all individual to each player. Those tags are worth 1 point. So basically, if that sniper gets shot, he hangs his dog tag up, metal shiny dog tag up in the nearest tree to where he was hit. He has to do that as part of the gentlemanness of the sport and fair play and all that jazz. You know, if they're seen to be just chucking them down on the floor under leaves, that's bullshit. So they have to hang it up in a tree for then the sniper who shot them to either collect or sit and leave it there for another sniper to spot and then take them out as well and go and get their tags on top of it. You know, so there's 1 point for dog tags collected and there was 2 points for objectives completed. So that's how they got their points throughout the day for the event. There was 13 teams in total. 13 players in total, 7 teams. There was one lone wolf, because I believe one of his partners dropped out very, very last minute. So he was just rolling solo, which was fair enough, because otherwise he wouldn't have been able to attend, and we didn't think that was fair because it wasn't his fault. So yeah, one dude rolling solo, and then 6 pairs of 2. There were 6 objectives, one of them being to retrieve the location for your extraction point. And obviously then that was the 5th, and the 6th objective was actually to extract, and you get 2 points for a successful extraction at a certain point in the AO. You pop a smoke, quad bike rocks up, you both jump on the back of the quad bike, and you're buzzed out of the zone, back to the safe zone for tea and biscuits and medals and all that jazz. So yeah, it was a really, really good event. A lot of honest gameplay. There was no dramas whatsoever. Great feedback from all the sniper teams. The PMC lot, Mike, that you were running, did a fantastic job as ever. And we had the gloves taken off of us this time, so we did give them a bit more of a battering compared to the previous event, which was good, and I think that worked really well. We were a much more force to be reckoned with this time around, and I think the snipers felt that as well out on the ground, which was good. But yeah, the location itself, obviously, it's a 90-acre private site. It's not an airsoft site, it's just a 90-acre woodland, which a lot of the listeners have probably visited once by now, I'd imagine, with the NoFo intro to Milsim and Empire events and stuff like that. So yeah, there was varying objectives positioned around the map. First one was not the first one, but one objective was a checkpoint that we put in, which we put a lot of effort into that. You know, we put a gun emplacement in. Mike actually got some specific signage for the road to go up. We had a couple of flags up. I knocked up a road barrier, red and white hazard barrier to block the road off, stop vehicles coming through. And we had a HQ set up back behind that, which was actually one of the objectives, was to wipe out the checkpoint between the sniper pairs, and then search the HQ for the extraction map to find out where they've got to go to for their extraction between the hours of 4 and 4:30. That was the only window, so every team only had 30 minutes to get the extraction. So that extraction zone was going to be like filled with gunfire and all sorts going on, smokes going off and stuff like that. So that was really cool. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it because I was the other side of the map. There we go. There was a supply crates in the AO somewhere. We gave them all maps with points of interest, not specific points of interest, but like quite a large area which said point of interest on it. So although it was in the correct area, you do have to search bigger, like further afield than where it's actually marked on that map. We're not going to give you like a pinpoint location, say there is something here, go and get it, because that just makes it fucking boring. We wanted to work for it. So like, unfortunately, none of the teams found the down pilot. So that was a bit disappointing. It took me ages to do that. So tossers, thanks for that. So maybe next time I'll just leave him sat in the safe zone next to the campfire and see if you spot him then. That might be a bit easier for you lot. Bloody snipers.
This was the checkpoint that we made up. So just a few simple sort of barricades, some flags, and the little sign. We've got a bit of signage made up and stuff. made
Yep.
quite an effective little checkpoint.
It did, mate. Yeah, it looked really good. It was
Yeah,
really
that was
well.
cool.
And even the sniper said when they got eyes on it, and that's wicked. That's great. A great point of reference and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
We had some bashers and cam nets thrown up as well, and you can just make out in the background the startings of the command tent. So with it was quite interesting to see actually that with a very little amount of infrastructure in terms of just a few bashers and some cam nets and stuff like that sort of put in.
Yeah,
you can really
create
change
quite a
an
nice
area.
little scenario basically.
absolutely, yeah, it worked really, really well. And like I say, it's an untouched bit of woodland. There's like one little hut that's been built on there. The rest of it, there's no pallets and stuff like that you get in normal sites. It's very all natural cover and sort of like peaks and valleys and ditches and trenches and stuff like that. So that's why that it's going to remain like that. The only the second structure that's ever been built over there is that little barrier thing, which can be taken apart anyhow. So that's not a problem. But yeah, it just worked really well, and it was a nice little feature on the map that would otherwise be quite plain. It's just a junction on a road section, which we've actually created some sort of like a little blocking point now, which is good. So that no doubt that's going to be used at future events. But and the good thing is it's mobile. We can set it up in different locations, which is very cool. That's very, very creepy. That face there, very, very creepy.
Hello. It's like that meme, isn't it? Where you got the two girls.
Oh, just photobombed by some weird dude in a cowboy hat. Like,
Yeah.
hello. So yeah, that works good. We had a supply drop, which was good. So we had two 50 cal ammo cans, and they had 13 packets of BBs. There was 10 BBs in each packet. So if the snipers located them, obviously the snipers only went out on the ground with 50 rounds, and that was for their rifle and for their pistol mags. So they could have like 5 pistol mags if they wanted to, and three rifle mags with a couple of BBs in each one. They could carry as many mags as they like, but they was only allowed 50 rounds, and that was it. So by finding the supply drop, they got an additional 10 rounds each. And the good thing as well was that they weren't all like if everyone was running 4.8s, there were some 4.5s in there, there were some 4.8s in there, so you had to be quick to get to it because you might have to adjust your hop to accommodate for the 4.5s, or if there's any 4.8s left, you might have to change it again for that. So that was cool. There was also some supply crates out on the ground because we all know what snipers are like for not carrying no water or food on them throughout a whole day of event. They'd rather just get dehydrated and collapse than actually take anything extra other than a pistol and a fucking rifle and cameras. So we actually had supply crates out there which had some tidbits in it, like you had some beef jerky, some sweets. There was crates of water left at every objective. So once they found the objective, they could rehydrate with a couple of little bottles of water and just leave them there for us to collect them all out. That's not a problem. And that worked out really well. I don't think they got all their supplies, so whether they just weren't hungry when they found it or they just didn't want to take them, it's up to them. But so yeah, there was a few packs left over. But so yeah, that was a nice little touch. One of the other objectives we had a PMC element there this time, which we didn't have before. So that was quite good because we had 2 objectives there. One was a mass grave site that the PMC were sort of dumping bodies there on behalf of the military team that was in the area. Obviously, the military can't be seen to be doing like war crimes and stuff, so they've paid off this PMC team to decrease the civilian population that's in the area. And we were doing money handovers between the PMC and the military unit, and obviously that was something that the snipers had to then witness. Was we sort of every hour on the hour at a certain location, which was the same location every time, we did a handover of money, and we sort of made it quite flamboyant, and we sort of hung around there for sort of like 10 minutes to give snipers a chance to sort of see the handover to get their 2 points. But I don't know if anyone completed that objective. They might have done, but there was 2 that weren't really done that the snipers didn't get to do, which was that one, the money handoff, and the finding the pilot's body, which is unfortunate, but it's the way it goes. They still scored multiple points, obviously, for all the kills they got throughout the day, plus achieving another 3 of the objectives. That's 6 points there. So I mean, nearly all the points, apart from the lone sniper, I think he got 9 or 10 points. Everybody else was up in the very high teens or the mid 20s, so which was good. So definitely going to continue that sort of thing.
For a lone sniper, being on your own against what?
And he was only, I think he was only 17. I think he was.
Well, that's
so he done really well. Never played at the site before, but yeah, he's blinding, absolutely blinding. A real gent, lovely to speak to. But as they all were, do you know what I mean? All the snipers that took part, they were just a fab bunch. There was no bullshit. It was really refreshing. Just like not even like before the game started. It's like, at least we haven't got to worry about this. There's been no hit taking and calling out and getting the arm. There was literally none at all. It's perfect. So yeah, good mob.
Tell you what, the one thing I noticed and took away from the weekend is that those snipers only had, I think it was like 420 rounds in total between all of them.
Mhm.
and they wiped out they wiped out the elite military units an awful lot. Like 420 rounds goes a very long way in terms
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
taking people out.
It
fair
only
play
takes
to 'em.
one, doesn't it? Only takes one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're incredibly accurate. I mean, even like their Mark 23s they've got. I mean, it's like compared to my WE-45. I mean, I'd have to two or three shots at least to get on target on someone at their sort of ranges that they engage with a Mark 23. Do you know what I mean? But with them, it's like one hit. Poof. So you think you've got a 15-round magazine, you've potentially got 15 kills there.
Yeah.
So although it's like, well, they've only got 50 rounds, it's like, yeah, but you have got a lot of kills because of how you play your game. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you're just with an LMG.
And they
you only
take their
50
time
rounds
as
in it.
well, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
They
It
wait
wasn't
for
like
that perfect shot. Whereas
there was no
rest of us are
instant
like,
engagement. As soon as the event started, it was like a good sort of like 40 minutes before we sort of started getting like little inklings of, oh, here we go. Sort of sort of game on time now. You know, they actually did test the waters very, very well. So, which was good, really cool.
I will say as well that, so obviously this is the second one of these events that I've done, and having headed up the kind of Op4 element, I think we've nicknamed EMU now because we were the elite military unit. So EMU has now sort of stuck with that team. But having headed those up, like it was definitely a lot more confrontational this time. Yeah, it's really hard to say. Confrontational this time around. Sort of previously, we weren't our. I can't talk. Our ROE, which is our rules of engagement, on the previous event, were very much kind of classic easy mode NPC. So if you imagine you're playing Sniper Elite or something like that, you know, we weren't actively hunting them or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
If we saw them, and quite a few times there, you know, we could see where they were. You scan across this big field of ferns and this little head of very contrasting green camouflage. You're like, there's a sniper there. We weren't actively engaging, whereas this time around we kind of took a slightly more aggressive stance, and it played off well. You know, there was a few times that we kind of rolled into a few extended line SOPs to kind of push through large areas of woodland. There's 2 or 3 particular good engagements on that front where I don't think the snipers had really kind of planned for that kind of assault. There were sort of 5 or 6 of us literally just pushing forward in a line. The flanks closed in, and we just managed to take both them out. So yeah, it was a good event. Definitely.
Did you say that? Would you say that you being more engaged as NPCs added more of a interest for the snipers instead of them just going, right, I can just walk round them and they're not going to do anything? Do you think they ended up having to think a little bit more? Did you get any feedback on that?
I haven't had any feedback on that per se. I mean, Lance might be able
I noticed that their movements were a lot different this time round. Now, whether it's because it was obviously pretty much a different set of snipers, bar one team, because they had dropouts, so we had some infills, verylastminute.com. Now, whether it's like I said, so whether it was because it was different snipers and it's that they play their game differently, but I found this time round they were a lot more sneaky beaky than the previous event. Now, whether that's because we were more of a threat and it was advertised that we would be more of a threat, so they thought, right, we better get our heads down and get on our belt buckles a bit more and actually use more cover when we're moving, rather than just sort of like wookieing through the forest like Bigfoot, just bounding about and then legging it to objectives, or you know, or not. I don't know, but yeah, from what I saw, which was minimal sniper movement, rather than just seeing them for like 150 meters just walking through the trees. You know, I didn't see any of that really this time round. It wasn't until we actually contacted them, then we saw a move. Then obviously that's a different story. You're going to see them because they're changing position. But for the most part, there was no sort of like just meandering sniper pairs, just like bobbing about. They were actually in cover. They were moving slowly. They were using like the rhododendrons, I think, a lot more to sort of as a bit of a rat run to get from one side of the map to the other, and bits and bobs like that, which is good. You know, using the ditches and the trenches.
That being said,
an awful lot more.
I have a sneaky suspicion that there were a few film cameras out there on the old rifles and stuff like that, because there did seem to be a lot of engagements with us that didn't need to happen. You know, we're walking away, and then all of a sudden you just get taken out in the back of the shoulder, and you're like, no, okay, I think that's just. But no, fair enough, you know. I mean, ultimately, it's their game, so we're there to kind of facilitate that, and it was good fun. It was good fun. I mean, even you know,
it was good fun.
We, as kind of the DS team with the EMU, you know, we're obviously not there to. We're there to have fun ourselves, but we're there to ultimately facilitate the snipers event. You know, we kind of have to play that game a little bit, and it's challenging in some instances where, you know, I would suggest that if we were fully let loose and it was just a normal mill sim and we were just running it as such, it would have probably been
be a
very
different
on that
fucking
front.
story. That's what it'll be.
Well, no, I think it would have been because
There'd be
you
no
know, I mean,
points
there
on
were
the
a few
board.
times- there were a few times. There were a few times that we kind of held back a little bit. You know, if someone had gone to ground and was staying still, we didn't really pursue that. We still knew they were there in some instances, but we didn't really go after them. Now, if they engaged us or it was blatantly obvious, then we would have done. So I think that's the kind of little bit of difference.
Me, Wayne, and Danny had a good engagement when we went up to check the mass grave, just because there was a little bit of confusion as to its location. So we thought, let's go up there and be obnoxious for 10 minutes and sort of shout about bodies and stuff like that. Sort of give them a bit of a helping hand as to its location. So we did that, and then as we was patrolling back down through the ferns and stuff, we sort of caught a glimpse of a sniper down the road where the forestry work warning sign is. We saw one cut across the road there into cover. And was like, shit. So we banked right into the tree line. And then there was another one like about 60, 70 metres back behind us. And then there was another one down the bottom of the other side of the bank. We were like, right, there's three here now. There's one to our 12, there's one to our 3, and there's like one off to our like 7 o'clock. So like Wayne was checking 12, Danny was on 3, and I was on 7. Now 7 hadn't moved in. He was still like 70, 80 metres out. And he'd sort of pushed away from us. And I could just see him like that. And he stuck around in. And it sounds wicked, a sniper. He goes, I was like, oh, that was good. And I was like, right, I see a sniper rifle and I raised him a DMR. So I put one back at him and I just saw this twig next to him and it just clipped him right next to his head and he was like, whoa, fuck. I was like, yeah, I can do it too. I can get you from there. Just saying.
So the big question is there going to be a 3? And will I be able to make it this time?
There's definitely going to be.
Can't vouch for the second part of that question.
I don't know. Only you know the answer to that question, Andy. Yeah. There's definitely going to be another Empire Events limited event. Now, whether that is a solely sniper-based event, I don't know yet. Me and Kenny have been discussing after having a little bit of a break from discussing for the last sort of like fucking 3 months. We've taken a couple of oh, indeed. So there's some things in the pipeline which I don't know what I can say and what I can't.
There's things in the pipeline, and we'll leave it there.
Yeah, there's things in the pipeline.
There's things being discussed.
It may not necessarily be just for snipers. The next one.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Empire Airsoft said that next event will not have sniper.
Well, there we go then. So it
well,
might be the one I'm sort of trying to keep quiet about. Probably be the one after this one then.
Oh.
I know what this one is that he's just talked about, but it's he knows what I'm on about, but nobody else does. So it just sounds like I'm waffling. So I'll shut up.
It's just all LMGs. It's going to be an LMG only event.
Single fire only LMG event.
Yeah. It's mandatory unlimited ammo. It's gonna...
And once the game starts, you have to hold your finger on the trigger just whilst moving around.
Just constantly.
Yeah.
Like a paintballer where you have to...
James, GoldenEye, when you find the Infinity magazine, just walking around for 10 minutes of a map, just absolutely destroying everything.
But you can only have a rate of fire of 8 rounds a second.
That's it, exactly. And there's going to be loads more ridiculous rules to make it complicated and people just panic and not bother taking
Terry
part.
said LMG Feast, but I'm going to change that to LMG Fest.
There we go.
Oh, Feast.
Yeah, so there is more Empire events in the pipeline. Now, whether there's going to be one this year or not, I don't know. But definitely next year, watch this space.
Well, Kenny, I'm assuming it's Kenny, has said we'll run the sniper one again next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. That will be back with a vengeance.
So there we go. We got a load of comments that have come in. We'll just run through those. One I particularly enjoyed was Kenny thanking Andy for coming to the event.
Thanks, Andy. You're the best.
I am medically discharged at the moment from not doing any activity. Although, as of today, I can drive a car again.
Well,
Have you got a car sorted now?
No. But I can drive.
He's legally allowed to drive a car.
I think you should get a massive truck, because I don't think Audis are any good for you.
I'm buying a 4-wheel
Dodge Ram.
Tank. Drive into me then, you bunch of bastards.
Yeah. Let's see who comes off worse now, motherfuckers.
And
Yes, I do apologise. Yeah, I do apologise, Kenny. I would have absolutely been there 100%. It was all booked off. The missus was told not to book any holidays. But then some old boy decided, no, I don't want you to go anywhere for 6 weeks and drove at me. So I do apologise.
Weaponised OAPs.
I think the one thing that I'm really disappointed about with your story, and I'm only going to raise this now because it's actually funny now that we know you're okay, is that you didn't shout "witness me" before you went colliding into this other car.
Witness me.
There were some words. They were not the words that popped into my head at that particular moment in time. I did when I had the accident, I generally turned around and went, "What the fuck?" Oh, like that was it. That was what I said.
Daz, so going back a little while ago, Daz said he got a plate carrier and an FMA SF helmet. Sounds
lovely.
Cool.
Nice.
Send us some pictures, Daz.
Good choice. Yep.
Blackbeard is the rebrand of Ali Kit Review or Brad Smiles.
Ali Kit Review. Happy days, mate.
Hello, mate.
Nice.
A couple of questions came in for you, Andy, because you said you'd booked onto something and then didn't tell anyone what you'd booked onto.
No. I booked onto something. No, my official first event back will be in February, and I will be going to the Johnny Big Gun and is it Wolf Tactical event in February?
Yeah, the combination.
The combination one,
thing, isn't it?
Looking forward to that. So that'll be my first official game back.
Oh, what's it called? Syndicate or something? Or Syndicate 2? Or
I don't know. I've got it on my phone.
I can't remember the bloody name of it now.
Shadow Strike.
I knew it began with an S.
That's it.
Yep. Shadow Strike 2. So I'm booked all onto that.
There we go. My mind is mush with events at the moment.
James C asked about the hat. I can't actually find anything on the hat, by the way. I've looked into the Keeler properties. It's a fleece thermal lining with a Rain Stop 5000 outer. If that helps at all. All I know
Rain
is
Stop 5000, though. Nice.
It's the Rain Stop 5000, yeah. It got down pretty chilly weather conditions on Saturday night, and I know that was definitely keeping my head warm. It was keeping my head warm more than my fleece jacket was.
To put that on and then stick your head in a freezer.
Okay.
Time how long it takes for you to get cold.
Ed says, can't say well done enough to Lance and all the NoFo lads for the Empire Rising event. Yes, I couldn't find the objectives, but then I realised I was just blind with the need for skills. So, there you go.
Got to get those Insta shots, didn't you? Those Insta
Got to get the content, mate. Got to get us all about the content.
Marky Mark said it was bloody good as EMU. I very much enjoyed myself, though it was very strange knowing I was being watched.
Voyeurs.
Yeah. It was funny. Every once in a while, Mark would be like, isn't it eerie to know that we're being watched by snipers? It's like, yeah. Just don't say that, because you know we're going to get shot in the back of the head at some point.
Yeah. Why did you say that?
And then Ash goes, oh.
James C, it sounds like Sniper Elite, but in real life. If I had the skills for it, then I'd consider sniping. I'll be honest with you.
Just give it a go, mate. You'll still have a laugh anyhow.
Just have a go. Yeah. The only real things that you need, I would say, are a relatively decent camo setup and a good bolt action. You know, as long as you've got.
However, there's one sniper there was cutting about with multicam bottoms and a DPM smock, and he just camoed his face up and that. He did start off the day with some foliage and that on, but he soon ditched that off. It was still very effective, you know. As long as you've got a bolt action sniper rifle, mate, and a sidearm, which is a pistol, then you're laughing.
Yeah, it should be all right.
There we go. Definitely give it a go, just for the crack, because it's a brilliant laugh. I bet it's proper nervy being out there and about, though. I bet that would be like, ooh. Yeah, James Hamilton was the DPM man, which I believe is that the Devil's Airsoft thing. Devil's Spawn Airsoft? Is that James? I think it is.
Not sure. I know James has left some comments as well, so we'll get back to James in a second. Harry asks, who won?
Funny shirt, Harry. Harry won. That called Harry.
Not Harry Badger.
Not that Harry.
Another Harry.
There are other Harrys in the world. And I think he had a little bit of help from Ed at some point, but Harry won, which was good.
Ooh. Well done, Harry.
Yes. Well done, Harry. And congratulations, Ed, as well. Little tennis clap for you.
Because
as well,
otherwise,
so.
if Harry had won, that would be the most self-congratulating thing ever. Oh, can I just remind everyone who won?
Yeah, lads. And who won it? Was it Harry? Was it me? Was it me?
Kenny says Lance looks like Fred Durst tonight. I like it.
Oh, I'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir, yeah. Keep rolling, baby. Keep rolling. There's Fred
He also
Durst, isn't it?
says Lance, Mike, and the boys did an amazing job. Looking forward to the next event we are planning now. So,
Oh, yeah,
there you
baby.
go. James Hamilton says the EMU got attacked for tags. So yes, so the EMU team also had a set of tags that once we were shot, we could be asked for them. So we weren't hanging them on trees or anything like that. Players would have to get to us to ask us before we had to sort of bleed out and respawn. I think what a lot of the snipers weren't aware of is we had, I think there was about 8 of us. We had 8 tags at the start of the day, and they all went by about mid-morning because we all got killed.
I lost one of my tags. I had my special tags, and I only lost one of them.
Oh, you lost
throughout
one?
the day. I only lost
That's a
one.
shame.
Although I did get shot in the arse whilst chopping wood for the barbecue for the snipers, which was hilarious. I literally went like that, went, and I went, I was like, then I saw a sniper looking around the tree, and like that, and I was like waving the little hatchet at him. He was like, "Sorry."
That was more of a
I know who it was, but I'm going to wait for the video because I can't wait to see it because it's hilarious.
So, yeah, I mean, in terms of attacking the EMU for tags, just if anyone's planning to do the next one, just bear in mind we don't have that many tags on us, and if it's towards the end of the day, you're unlikely to get any.
Yeah.
James also said the EMU kept bumping into us, so we had to engage or run. I know that was interestingly on some of the engagements where we would literally just come up against a load of snipers, and that kind of fear and panic look in their eyes as they kind of went, "Oh no!" It's just all scattered. There was a few
Panic
times
in
as
their
well
eyes.
where there was a couple times where I think because we'd split up into we had a rota going, so we had a team on the checkpoint. And then we had Patrol, Alpha, and Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Patrol Bravo got lit up at one point. So there's a firefight going on. But I don't think the snipers that had engaged Patrol Bravo realised that Patrol Alpha were coming up basically behind them. So, I think Mark at one point lit one up with an LMG. That was good fun on that run. Terry said the sniper event could be a season thing. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter one. Hopefully it will snow.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Very cool, literally.
Well, yeah. I mean, give me a chance to use that lovely sniper veil that I was given by a lovely man. I think you got one as well, Mike.
Sniper smock.
Yeah, man. We've got sniper smocks without sniper rifles. So we can hide, we just can't kill anything.
James says, whatever happened to the MKR military kit review channel?
I think he got chewed out to shit for doing airsofty stuff, mate, by these oppos in the forces. So I think he knocked it on the head. So I'm led to believe, but don't quote me on that.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, c'est la vie,
Yeah.
I suppose. It's the end of that.
So the other topic of tonight's show was going to be differences between woodland and urban events. I think what we'll do is break this into a bit of a two-parter. So should we talk about kit for a woodland event and then see how far we get, and then we can pick this up again next week? I don't think we've done this before. We haven't kind of done a two-parter.
Part two, so you must come back. Can we leave it on a cliffhanger?
Yeah.
We can leave it on a cliffhanger.
Oh, it's exciting. Oh, I'm in a panic.
Something a little bit different.
You need the EastEnders music at the end, though, don't you?
Yeah, we haven't got anything.
Yeah, I don't have that. I'll see if I can find that by the end of the show.
All we've got is... Which is a very quick ending to EastEnders.
So yeah, in terms of kit, woodland kit for starters, I would argue on the. Let's break this down into kit that you're going to be playing in, and then kit that you need to effectively survive. I appreciate it's an airsoft event. You're not out in the middle of nowhere, but let's kind of break it into those two aspects. So let's talk about loadout first. So
Yes.
what do we think is kind of the differences on loadouts between woodland and
Are we choosing a particular time of year for this, or are we
No,
just saying
we'll go as a generic across the year.
not hot, not cold,
Not
just
cold.
Yeah.
I mean, base loadout.
Because I would
for me,
argue
then.
you'd probably I would argue you'd probably take a similar kit. Maybe a camouflage pattern would be different. That's going to be somewhat dependent on the rules of the event, for example.
Yeah.
But you could probably find that MTP loadouts will be comparable between the two.
I mean, for me, if I could get away with it, I'd go with a DPM top and MTP bottoms all day long because I think it's just fucking wicked. I love that look. It's the best.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd run a Woodland DPM smock with a webbing set, belt kit, and a day sack for Woodland all day long.
Mine's not too dissimilar. Mine would be either. I would probably go M81 because I just prefer. I think it suits Britain a little bit more, which strangely. And I would probably go chest rig. Although I still need to check it. Still need to test out that.
Yeah, man.
But I'd say probably chest rig would be my primary, with probably the commander sack that I've got now, because that'd be enough just to carry around all my stuff in it that I need. Just
Nice.
plod around with that. That would be my main, and obviously my belt setup. So I think that would be my main go-to.
If I was to go chest rig, I'd go sort of like maybe like a shooter's belt setup with a chest rig, and then like you say, like a day sack. For basically what I would have in my webbing would go in my day sack, and that'd be the only transition sort of thing. What about you, Mikey?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been running a chest rig for the last couple of events now, to kind of test them out because I've never really run them before. I've always run.
I was just going to say you've run them a lot more recently, haven't you?
Yeah, so I'm just giving it a fair trial across a number of events to kind of give it a go, and I must profess I am missing my plate carrier quite a lot. In the summer events where it's been quite warm, I grant you the chest rig has been substantially cooler. It doesn't do a lot to hide the figure. I'm just putting that out there. Some of the photos of me I am not liking quite as much. But what I would say is,
you just need one of those tight tops that have got the pattern.
Of course, it.
Trust me, I'm in that boat, mate.
Just duct tape me up before you put me into the kit. But I'm finding that with the plate carrier, there's a lot more attachment points for things. Like I'm finding it very tricky to kind of balance the comms aspect of things. Like with the
that's
plate
what I've
carrier,
always struggled
you've got a lot
with.
of place to put cables and stuff like that. I never really kind of struggled with the plate carrier in a woodland environment other than the temperature. So I've been looking at kind of more lightweight plate carrier ideas and styles, bits and pieces like that, because I'm not really sure what I want to go with yet.
What about the chest rigs that come with the plaque? So your back is pretty much clear. So it's basically just like the front of a plate carrier. So you don't, but it's got no.
Yeah, like my Warrior 901.
Yeah, like the Warrior. Where it's got
you've got a deployable admin panel.
Yeah.
It turns out, and I've done a little bit of a test on this at NAE, funnily enough, I spend a lot of my time at airsoft events crawling around in the dirt. So what I'm
rightly
finding
so, mate.
with my,
not many people go on their belt buckles, so you should.
With
you know,
my chest rig, everything is just getting scraped along the ground, and it is getting full of stuff and all of that. Whereas with my plate carrier, and even with the belt setup, to be fair, like the more sort of traditional harness, everything's kind of on my hip or on my back, so I'm not really finding that's quite so much of a struggle. So yeah, I mean, for me, realistically, the difference between woodland and urban events, I probably wouldn't vary it too much. I think it's more of a personal preference. Definitely have a day sack for lugging stuff about, but again, that would probably be the urban scenario. I think the only thing I would take loadout wise is probably my ghillie hood or rust camo hood or whatever they're called, viper hood. Obviously urban environments, not as much use for those, funnily enough.
Although I've got to admit, headwear, like obviously when it starts getting night, like towards night, and I know that I'm going to have to switch over to nods, then I'll put the hard hat on because I haven't got a skull cap. But during the day, it will be either boonie or peaked cap. I would very rarely in the woodlands wear a hard hat unless I know that I'm going to be throwing on nods.
I'd live in a boonie all day long.
So. Yeah.
Unless I've got to go into a building, then I'll just chuck up. I'll chuck on my sort of bare minimum skid lid.
Yeah.
But I'll live in a boonie. You know, even if it's an urban event when I'm not going to be going building bashing, and I'll be like on the perimeter, sort of like putting cover in as like a FSG or something like that. I'll still just stay in a boonie. Fucking skid lids all day long. Does my head in. It's a headache.
Yeah, I mean the only time I would probably suggest like helmets and stuff like that is ultimately place some of the buildings in Longmoor, for example, are pretty ropey and there's things kind of jutting out, and that's ultimately partly what the helmet's for. You know, I mean, there's a reason that builders wear helmets around on site or hard hats, because knocking their heads into things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Things potentially landing on them. I mean, I can particularly remember one of the events in Longmoor where someone went through the floor and then clobbered someone below them with their foot.
Yeah.
So you know, these things do happen. So, and you also get, I mean, with the helmets and stuff like that, you've got attachment points for headlights and torches, and again comms. If you've got peltors and stuff like that, there's a likelihood of a lot more noise in an urban environment. So yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of a boonie. Baseball caps, you know, stuff like that. But I think the boonie just helps break up that shape a lot more when you're out and about. It's a little more versatile. So I will. Can I just there's a message from Ed, and very high praise indeed for Ed saying that he really liked my camo hood. So thanks, mate. I really appreciate it.
He's talking about the glow in the
yellow
dark
one.
high vis one.
Yeah, I know.
Have you got that back yet?
Can I just? Yeah, I do. Can I just say I've got a slight update on that. I found in my box of bits an MVG shroud. So you know, like the bit that you bolt onto the helmet.
Skull cap.
Not like the. No, just literally that little quadrant piece that kind of sits on the front
Oh,
of the
right,
helmet.
yeah.
I think that's called a shroud. I'm not 100% sure, but so I've got plans to mount that to a building hat. To really develop this kind of PMC, private military contractor role a little bit more. So watch this space on that front.
Fair play.
Get
A
some rails down the side
nod
as well.
wielding builder. I've actually got some spare helmet rails if you want them for your project.
Oh yeah, if you wouldn't mind,
I will happily
chuck 'em over.
donate them to you.
See if I
Yeah,
can
they're
turn
off a
a hard
Mitch
hat into a
2000
proper-
hat, but they should work.
Yeah, that's cool. Have a little play around with that.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, is there anything else that we would consider loadout wise? I mean, footwear and stuff like that's probably not going to be too dissimilar.
I would take less bang pyro in a
Yeah,
Woodland,
I was just about to say
and
I'd have a couple
take
of
more
smokes.
smoke.
Yeah.
I'd take more smoke than I would bangs. Whereas urban,
Exactly
I'd
the
swap
same.
it. I'd literally swap it round. I'd have say 2 or 3 smokes, and then 4 or 5 bangs. Whereas smoke works better in Woodland because obviously you've got, or you're presuming that you would have wider areas to kind of cut across.
Yeah, there's going to be more open area, isn't there, sort
Yeah.
of thing that you're going to be covering, especially at the site that we play at as well. You know, smokes would be handy in some situations. However, you wouldn't, like Andy said, you wouldn't need like Mark 5s or Mark 9s
No.
or anything like that really there.
Quite a lot of the urban sites as well don't actually allow pyro, like the smoke pyro indoors anyway, do they?
No.
No,
Because I mean,
a lot
all I was thinking is if you did clear a building or you wanted to slow down enemy progress into a building, lobbing a couple smokes in the building are going to slow down anybody trying to get in there. But yeah, that's a good shout. Definitely bang pyro.
Mhm.
Would you take
just trying to think
masks? I know that you've taken a mask before, Andy, to some events.
Yeah,
We had no choice at Epsom, did we?
No.
It was either mask or die, basically.
Although I wish I had a rebreather, not a mask.
Oh, mate, yeah. Yeah, just a bottle of oxygen at the back every now and again.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm back in the game.
I walked out. We walked out of there, and I felt like I was like Darth Vader.
Proper. Yeah, mask can be. I mean,
urban. I wear. I always have one in my rear pouch, because at some sites, especially on some milsim events, they do allow pyro into smoke into a building, and it's a good way of getting you out of that building, because it gets to the point where they chuck 3 or 4 in, and you just think, I can't breathe. Whereas you pop your mask on, and you're all right, at least for a little while longer, and then you can use their smoke to your advantage. Before that, like literally, they'd throw 2 or 3 in, you could feel it starting to burn your throat, and you had to just bug out.
yeah, masks are a good shout. Little half mask just to sort of help with that are filtered. Not only for face protection, like I said, I always chuck my lid on when I go into a building. But if you had a mask that you can just quickly over the nose and you just click it on, and you got that bit more added protection there, then happy days. Plus, it looks cool as fuck as well.
I'll give Les a little shout out as well, because Les has managed to pick us up a load of masks for the team.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Got mine.
little legend.
I need to try mine out though.
Thanks,
Yeah,
bud.
they do look cool though. Do look the nuts.
Rage says smokes in Woodland in a dry summer it do equal a fire.
Yeah.
Glad 5 at Longmoor, that Woodland caught fire 3 times. I mean, that just builds to the ambience.
Yeah. But then that's quite mad launching a
But it is
smoke
quite
into that
dangerous.
sort
You
of
do- I mean, we joke.
because Longmoor Woodland is heavy ferns and a lot of dry.
Isn't
Do
it?
you know what I mean? It's whereas like and literally hardly any actual tracks through it at all. So there's not really any open space there. Whereas like our site, I'd only really be using a smoke to get clear of a road junction or something like that. So you have got hard ground there. So I'm always very careful of where I put a smoke. And 9 times out of 10, you won't see me just like luzzing a smoke. It'll literally be sort of cooking it off for a bit in my hand with a glove on, I'd like to add, and then sort of just like rolling it out ahead of us or something like that.
Yeah.
I very rarely would I, unless it's a crystal clear, empty, short field. For example, the sand fob at Longmoor that's got the big open green plane at the front with the helicopter.
Yeah,
You could luzz smokes out there all day long. It's not a problem. But yeah, certainly in Woodland, you have to be very, very careful. If in doubt, I wouldn't use it. If there's been a serious dry spell.
That's putting that's your responsibility again.
Absolutely, yeah.
As you
and
said,
making sure it's
it shouldn't
extinguished
be.
as well. But even if I had a smoke from the enemy thrown into our area that had petered out, I'd always sort of have a look and if you can, give it a little stamp down sort of thing, or make sure it's clear of anything. Just you don't want it to stop the event or fuck things up for people there. So
There's also poorly thrown smokes out of buildings as well, because last time I was at Longmoor,
so far.
for the life of me, couldn't get that smoke grenade out of that window.
No, so I thrown it down.
Twice
Sorry,
and then
I'm
lost
sorry.
it in the billowing cloud that I couldn't see through and smoke myself out. So. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay, so we've obviously talked about loadout wise in terms of uniforms and sort of accessories from that front. What about rifles and riff and sort of primary and secondary, etc.? Would we talk something a little bit different there?
For me, it doesn't really change that much because it's either the LMG or an M4 platform. If I'm doing, if say for example, I'm doing SF or I'm not doing Blue 4. Well, actually, even then, even if I'm doing Blue 4 Op 4, it's an LMG or an assault rifle. So I've always got my pistol on me. So for me, it doesn't really change that much. It would depend on the tasking that we're being sent out for. For me, if we're told that we're just sweeping through a building, then if it's literally the whole squad just sweeps through the building, then I'll take the M4 because a lot of places don't allow you full auto in the building. But if it's move up and secure a building, then I'll take the LMG and I'll be the Muppet sitting outside covering the doorway.
Yeah, it's a fair one, yeah. I mean, for me, like, very similar, but obviously instead of an LMG, it'd be my DMR for Woodland. I'd run my pistol on my leg holster anyhow. That's the only thing is it's a little bit compromising with webbing because where my pistol sits, it's directly underneath my commander's pouch. But I'm not in a Woodland site. I'm not looking to sort of draw my pistol super duper quickly compared to having to transition in an urban environment. But then I'll be running my M4, and I doubt very much that I'll be running webbing in an urban event. I'll be running a plate carrier with a shooter's belt or a chest rig with a shooter's belt. Yeah. So I'd have a lot more access to that pistol a lot quicker for transitioning in and out of buildings or whatnot. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, for a Woodland thing, I mean, I've done events without a pistol at a Woodland event. Obviously, DMR inside the 30-meter engagement zone. You've got to rely heavily then on your section that you're in. Yeah. Rather than thinking, oh, right, he's inside my 30 metres now, I'm going to transition to my pistol. Whereas on my train of thought is that, well, he's inside 30 metres now, I'll let these boys deal with him.
Yeah,
I'm covering them from sort of 30 metres out to 75 metres, then they're sort of 50 metres in. Do you know what I mean? So that's not really down to me now. I'll let them deal with it.
Yeah, handing it over.
This is exactly that. So, I haven't found that I really needed a pistol as a DMR in urban, in sort of rural events. I've probably never used it. It's been more of a fucking hindrance than something else to carry, to be honest with you. So I'd sooner just sack it off and then have it more for an urban event where you'll be using like your M4 and stuff like that, or and you can transition to your pistol with stoppages and shit like that. So I'd rarely run a pistol for my for my DMR, unless my loadout sort of facilitated it. If I wasn't running my webbing and I was running, like you said, a chest rig, a shooter's belt, and a day sack for a rural event, then yeah, I probably would run my pistol because it's easy to run it. Whereas when you're running webbing, it can be a bit of a ball ache. That'd be the only thing for me, the only sort of change up.
I can't say I've run a pistol in quite a long time now, to be fair. Most events, I haven't really found I needed to use that. For the most part, they've been outdoor sites. So, the up close and personal engagements haven't really been there. So for the most part, with my LMG or my assault rifle platform or anything like that, I don't have an MED to deal with. DMR wise, normally I'm with somebody else if I'm running that anyway.
Exactly.
So you can hand over on that front. I think the only thing I would probably say is I agree with you, Andy. Your LMG's obviously not got single fire capability.
No, not at
the
all.
GMP Stoner does, so that's obviously quite good from that front. And I know I've found that to work quite effectively for clearing buildings sometimes. It's very long, but you can just switch it to single fire and then you can run into buildings. So you haven't lost that LMG capability. When you get to like an upstairs window and you've got the ability to fire out and form that firing position, can be quite powerful then. I think
I've got to admit, I
SMGs
always take my pistol with my LMG. Always. Just in case it does come up close and personal. Because I do run mine on the limit, and I don't think it's fair me sitting there lobbing 3 shoes at someone's shins as they run towards you. So I pull out the pistol and hit 4 8s at them.
No, I go full
Full away.
No, full auto, single fire when you're clearing a building. But I've got 1,200 rounds of single fire in that instance, so I'll just keep going. I think SMGs probably play more into an urban environment. It very much depends on the site. So I'm going to pull 3 now. So you've got the HQ at Driftfield, AI 500, the Citadel, and Longmoor. So Longmoor events with Legion, it was single fire when you're sort of clearing the buildings, but you could full auto in or out. So that's obviously quite useful for that. HQ Driftfield, the event that we were at, we weren't allowed to fire out the windows above first floor anyway. So ground floor, I don't think you were allowed to fire in at ground floor either, were you? Thinking about it. I can't remember now. I know doorways was firing. I'm looking to you, Andy, because you were there. I know lots of
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
we were. No, we were allowed to full auto into and out of doorways.
Yeah. I know
But
you weren't
not
allowed to
windows.
fire out of upstairs windows. There was a
You weren't. No,
restriction on that front.
they said no firing outside of windows, but and no, it was all windows, wasn't it? So you could observe through a window, but you weren't allowed to shoot out of it. But you were allowed to full auto into and out of.
And then,
because I sat on the far edge and just let them all run out, and then full autoed them with the LMG, and they all got really salty. I was like, "Well, you ran at me." I was like, "You ran at me."
And then using the Citadel with AI 500 as an example, you weren't really able to fire in and out of the windows. So having any kind of long range weapon platform wasn't much help on that basis. You're not using that. So for the most part, having the SMG is going to allow you to get into those tight spaces and clear buildings, especially a prison setup where there's lots of narrow doorways. You've got to go in and out. Having a rifle, you're not going to be able to get that aim down a corridor. Whereas I found with my MP9, it was a lot easier to just kind of duck out and duck in. It's got the collapsible stock as well. So anything in that instance, those smaller weapon platforms are going to be a lot more use for an urban environment, definitely.
I feel that I'm probably going to end up using my pistol more though now that I've moved over to an MWS, and I think Lance might as well. Yeah, because you've only got a limited number of rounds before, and if you're in a building, or if you are quite close, or in any sort of contact, and you need to keep rounds going down, it's always going to be quicker for you to transition from your pistol than reloading.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course.
It's been proven,
especially if you're inside a building as well, because it's still when it comes to airsoft, the stopping power is the same as if it was an M4. There's no difference. Do you know what I mean?
So I do think that I'll use it more. I think I'll end up using my pistol more than I have done previously, especially when using the MWS.
Mhm.
And I think that's going to be a big learning curve.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like I
is
said,
always
my
fun.
pistol's really good, but I just don't use it enough. But I would like to use it more. So maybe, like with the NWS, it might maybe force me to actually transition to it, using it a lot more. So, which would be good. So
Andy, do you want to just run through the
weekend,
comments? I'm just going to queue up the little next segment about the competition that we ran for our birthday.
Oh, yes.
I need to
so we
go
got-
off mic for a second. So
off mic. He's got to sort it out. Right. So we got some comments. We got Daz that said it's on my Instagram mic. Not
whatever that
sure
is.
what that was in relation. We got a thumbs up.
That's
I
good.
can't
picture
remember what that
of
was.
Daz's new thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh
yeah.
yes, his helmet,
The
and
SF
the plate
helmet
carrier.
and
Yep,
plate carrier.
lovely. And then we've got Ed. I really like your camo hood. He was being a little bit more specific for you. And then we got Ed again. No, the rust camo hood. I've seen it in the field, very effective in terms of weights as well. So there we go. Future purchase, maybe, Ed, if you don't already have one.
I'm sure he could knock one up with his a man of his caliber.
Yeah. He's got the stuff for it sitting there.
He's got the minerals. He's got the minerals.
James C. MKR had to go as his unit got incorporated into the Ranger unit, and they were privacy and security concerns.
Ah, right, I
privacy.
see. Okay, I don't really see how there was privacy and security concerns when he just did reviews of coats and bags.
It was probably the stuff getting sent to him though, wasn't it? Because he was getting whole kit sent to him.
Well, he was getting only airsofters loadouts, and he was getting sent to him. He was reviewing like Keeler kit and like stuff that you'd be able to JJ's kit. He was stuff that you could buy off the market. You know, I mean, it's not like he was like bringing out specialist stuff that ain't been fucking seen yet from BAE or anything. You know what I mean?
It might just be sort of, personal security maybe on the basis of, I don't know specifically his situation, but it might just be that, it was frowned upon in terms of, really advertising his role and what he does. And
because he did take part in a couple of events, a couple of milsims, if I remember rightly. I know he did, I think he did a couple of Sterling ones.
He definitely did a Sterling. I don't know how many he did. I definitely know that he was at one.
Oh well, there we go.
Fresh meat. We got prison was no problem with a bullpup. Yeah, but it's a bullpup.
Must have been AI 500, isn't it?
Let's not go into the debate of what a bullpup is.
God. No, what was that rifle that people were saying wasn't a bullpup, though it was?
No, we're not having this debate. Move on. Put my foot down.
And the 50 cal sniper, wasn't it? They were saying the new one. That's loaded in the arse.
So that's a bullpup then.
Yep. Terry, Pegasus, love your LMG.
Oh, bit of love for the LMGs.
Oh. Pegasus, I will always have a pistol. Once you're used to it, you can be very fast to draw.
Yeah, true.
Draw McGaw. Pegasus again. Terry, annoying. It had a few issues that weekend due to the box mag. That's because it's TM.
I think he kept dying.
At least it wasn't going off by itself like someone else's that we know.
Yeah, Chris.
Chris and his magic. Yeah, Chris and his magic Mark.
Yeah, self-firing.
Yeah.
And James would definitely use a DMR more in Woodland with a pistol.
Yeah, for sure, mate. Nicely done.
Just a big shout out to Chris because he brought a big barrel of stuff along and was like, "There you go, have at it."
Oh yeah, a 3D barrel.
He was just going to throw the whole lot in the fire.
In love with Chris. Just burn it.
So
man's a lunatic. We love him.
We have topped up our giveaway box for NoFo, so there may be some little bits and pieces coming out from that. So big shout out to Chris for that front.
Oh, thank you very much, Chris.
Well done, Chris. Tennis clap for you, sir. Very good. Very good.
You get a
fanfare.
Oh, you get a NoFo fanfare.
Right, so we ran a competition on our birthday. It was a well thought out and
well delivered.
It was well delivered and very well thought through competition.
I don't think many people even knew that it was going on.
No, this I believe was for the chest, the harness setup.
The harness setup, which is
which Andy will grab now. So we have had a grand total of 1 entry.
Hey,
Actually, technically, we've had 2, and both of them were from the same person. So,
So guaranteed winnings.
pouches.
yeah, so well done to Liam, who has won this. Liam Hussey.
Well done, Liam.
Thank you very much. So I'd like to now present Liam's advertisement that he came up with us. So the idea was to come up with a little advertisement video that we could ultimately probably use for marketing for ourselves. But I just want to double check. Can you hear this? Because I'm not 100% certain I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we
Thank you
go.
very much, Liam.
Very good.
I love
We
that.
like that
I love
very
that
much.
song.
Have we got a hand clap? I think we do. Maybe.
You might.
No, I don't think
we
do.
don't. We have a.
Hand jive.
Okay, I'll just
Whatever that is.
to update my thing. So, Liam, thank you very much, mate. Really
Yes,
appreciate
well done,
it.
mate.
Congratulations, buddy.
I've already been emailing you because I needed the copy of the video. So I will send you an email if you wouldn't mind just sending me your address, please.
Or me, because I own the thing.
Yes, send
Andy will
it to
send you the
us.
Send
thing.
it to me.
If you send it to Andy
Message
directly,
me.
it saves time. But if
And
you
we'll
put
get
it
it
on our
sent out.
email, I can send it over to Andy.
Of course, yes.
It's not a
Liam is Chewbacca.
Yeah.
So, well done. Brilliant.
Yeah.
problem. So, there you go.
Yes, I want that
Thank you very
beginning
much.
bit for Projects Unknown.
Mm.
Just want the beginning bit. Just the beginning.
Yeah.
I like that
Well, I
song.
can't do
I'd
this
like
the
to
tip.
know
File now,
what song
I'll
that
send
was.
Just the
I'd like
tip.
to know what song that was.
Yeah.
I feel like we need an update.
Love that my memes are being reused from marketing.
Yes,
aren't they?
Mark. Absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah, well done. We haven't given away the 5 patches that we were going to give away. So we will save those for another event coming up, of which
Mhm.
will most likely be our 24-hour episode that we are ever hurtling towards in
Yes.
terms of the date, not so much the organisation, but we're getting there.
What you two don't know is that while I've been sat on my fat ass, I have an entire spreadsheet laid out with guests, timescales, people that are going to help, people that are going to hinder.
More hinder than help.
Us
more
three.
hinder.
Mainly us three that will be doing the hindering.
in the hindering box.
I just feel sorry for this poor producer.
Producers.
Producer.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm.
Maybe.
It's all very exciting. So if you are around on the 2nd and 3rd of December, it
For
will be starting
24 hours.
roughly at 9 a.m. I know you guys always laugh at us for starting a little bit late. So I'll say
It'll
somewhere
be-
between 8:55 and 9:05,
Yeah.
but somewhere
Shall
within
we
that 10
say?
minute.
Shall we say like 7:30 and then just log on at 9? Just be like, there you go. Moan about that.
We have decided that we're not going to do it as a audience show. The reason being is that because we're doing the full 24-hour, it's something we haven't done before. It's going to be stressful enough trying to do that. So we want to try and get this one sorted first, and then it might be something that we look at in the future.
Yes.
Because
we definitely like
this.
this.
So
We definitely like the thought of having some sort of interactive there and then.
Mhm.
There's a few segments that I want to speak to these guys about, so that we still may get some people participating if they wish.
I've lined up,
we'll see.
and I haven't necessarily agreed the two of you this, but I've already agreed it with him. Croydon Hammond, as Croydon Hammond's 30-second reviews on stuff. So we're going to get him in 30 seconds to talk.
Oh, he's got to
about
do
a
some
subject.
segments. Absolutely.
So we're
Do you
going
know
to
what?
pre-record those, and I'm just going to release those
Great,
onto you at
great
some point.
minds. I was like, we need to do this segment.
Yeah.
About time.
So things like Croydon Hammond explains hop up in 30 seconds.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
So
That's going to be
yeah, it should be
brilliant.
good. Should be good. Yeah, we do. That's the thing. We need to deal with power
Even
cuts
Damien, how you doing, mate?
potentially and stuff like that. So
Cool beans. Yeah, lots to plan. Not a lot of time to do it
I was
in.
late to the. That's a dig at me. I was late to the Empire Rising event. I planned to get there at 5:30, and I got there at 7:15 ish because
That's not
my
late. That-
Yeah, but he said, "Oh yeah, aim to be on
No,
site for 5:30 in the
ridiculous,
morning,"
mate.
and I was just like, "Yeah, of course you fucking will be."
I know, but I tried to. All my alarms died because my power cut. So my phone was flat. All of my I used like the Alexa to set an alarm and stuff, and it was I was not in a good mood that morning. Definitely not in a good mood that morning. Anyway, it's getting on. So thank you for watching.
Yes.
If you would like
Thank
to support
you.
the show in any way, we do have a Buy Me a Coffee, which you can find on our website.
We do.
We have some interesting changes coming up to the website. We've had a little bit of a get together on our in our
You're gonna
minds,
do
and we've
some-
got some new ideas. We're going to be ditching off the Milsim events calendar because it's not working. People aren't
No
engaging
one.
with it.
No one
So
does it other than
in
two
lieu of
people.
that, we've got something potentially exciting coming. If
Have
I
we?
can work out how to build it.
hmm
Yes, we do.
Have I forgotten?
I'll tell you.
Twilight
We're looking
Zone.
at creating a membership. We're looking at creating a membership platform on the website.
Oh yeah.
We're getting it to a point where people will be able to have a little login for the website, and there'll be like a little forum area or something like that.
Yes.
We don't know exactly how to do that yet. I'm not an expert in this, and I am not going to be recreating the next Facebook. But if we can create something
Yeah.
that we can have as a sharing platform, that's what we'd like to try and do.
Mhm.
If you've got any ideas of things that you'd like to see on the website as well, please let us know. It's a good opportunity now to try and get those in. We can almost build the website around your idea if we like it as well. So
Yeah.
if
It's
you've
there.
got
For,
any
it's there
ideas,
for you
please throw it at
guys
us.
at the end of the day. It's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it is there for
Absolutely. Yeah.
you.
But the members bit's going to be
That's the
quite cool
whole-
because I think we're going to talk about
Yeah,
like
yeah.
being able to have your own sort of like personal NoFo sort of profile if we can, which gives a little bit of info on like
Mm-hmm.
what weapons you run, loadouts, and stuff like that. You know, that's always
Yeah.
quite cool. If we
Maybe.
can,
We
we're going
had a
to
debate
see.
about what we wanted to add.
yeah.
These two went freaking mental in terms of what would be great if we could do this and we could have a buy and sell page on there and all of this. I was
Gifts.
like, yeah,
Got to
okay.
have gifts.
Yeah, got gifts everywhere.
So we'll be playing around with that. Well, you can also leave reviews as well. Sorry, clicked that by mistake. You can also leave reviews as well. So if you'd like to leave a review, you can do so on Apple Podcasts. On Facebook, you can review our page as well.
And
So-
remember, if you leave a review, Mike will read it out in an accent of your choosing.
Mhm.
Still, there have been some good ones.
what
there have
accents or
been some good-
reviews?
Well, it's been good
Accents.
reviews. I wouldn't say the accent is really good.
Yes, leave a review if you like.
And thumbs
hit
up
the
as well.
like- yeah,
Likes and shares
thumbs
and
up,
all that
likes and
jazz.
shares.
Yeah.
Hit the notification bell on YouTube because it makes us
Notification
break the
bells. Ding ding.
algorithm. We just want to kind of
Playdays.
break the algorithm a bit, don't we? We want to get out there a little
Hmm.
bit more to the masses.
Yeah, man.
Oh, and I'm working on a sticker. There's going to be a new sticker, which is the "Do you even Milsim?"
Oh,
Even
yeah.
Milson.
So I've got a design. I'm going to be having a load made up at my own expense. So I will treat everyone to a sticker. So if I see you, there'll be a limited run of "Do you even Milsim?" stickers.
Yeah. What was the
There you go.
reason for that again? What did we come? I know it was
I
a
can't
show.
remember. I think
was
we were making
the-
a joke about like, "Oh, do you even Milsim?"
Do you even Milson? It's
Yeah,
because you
do
didn't have
you even
string.
Milsim?
Oh, because you don't carry any
Oh,
string.
yeah, 'cause you
Oh,
know-
yeah, because you have no string. Do you even
You have no
Milsim?
string. Bro, do you even Milson?
Yeah, so unless you have
And
string,
it's called cordage. I'm just saying it's the.
so if
Anyway.
you have string, you will get you'll get a sticker when you sit.
Yeah,
if you don't
because
have
you
string,
obviously Milson.
you don't milsim, so you don't.
That's it, exactly.
Oh, Mike, please end the show with a "Stay NoFo" in your Belfast accent. Okay, right, we'll work on that one. Who would like to do the closing words?
I'll do it.
Go on then.
Yeah, you go on then.
It is what it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can do so on our email at nofochat@hotmail.com. Our Instagram is at November_Foxtrot_NoFo, and the website's novemberfoxtrot.co.uk. We'll see you
Or
next week.
contact us
Wednesday,
individually on
8
our
p.m.
things.
yes.
Oh, yeah,
on our
sorry. You
thing,
can also talk to us there.
on our bits.
At 9volt Airsoft, at @callsign_quartermaster, at the _punished_1_.
Yeah.
I might change
Okay.
mine. So just a load of underscores, just to throw Mike. Paul underscore sign underscore quarter underscore master.
Q underscore U underscore A
Yeah.
underscore
Right.
underscore.
Here we go. This is going to be terrible. Right. So say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Stay NoFo.
Oh. Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
I didn't know he was from Belfast. So good old Sean. God bless him.
I said it would be bad. See you later. We'll see you next
stay
week.
NoFo.
Goodbye,
guys.
goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, much money, Benny.